Here's how I made this chicken monument to celebrate 1,000 followers on my TikTok. The chicken monument sits on top of a floating island and is surrounded by more floating islands filled with all the trees I have transformed in the past few months. With 6 custom coops: the oak, birch, spruce, cherry, acacia, and pale. And here's how I made it using Axiom. First, I started with an empty world. Then I made the center island using the rock tool. Then I refined it using the melt tool and the smooth tool. This way, the top of the island will be flat and can be used for building later. Next, I built the outer islands using the same technique. Next, I painted it with a gradient of deep slate, tuff, cobblestone, stone, mossy cobblestone, and grass, using the gradient painter tool. But we still need some trees. But before that, I'm gonna paint the biome for each island so it fits with the custom trees I'm gonna be placing on top of it. And here's the biome layout for each island. And now for the trees. I made the placement and the orientation of trees random using the stamp tool. Because the trees are stamped, some of the trees are remain floating. So I manually fixed every floating tree so it doesn't look like it's floating in the air. Now for the custom coops. I made each coop its own unique design. I made this classic coop for the oak biome. I made this whatever style of coop is this for the birch. I made a medieval style coop for the spruce. I made a Japanese inspired coop for the cherry. I made this abandoned style coop for the pale. And finally, I made this Savannah Village inspired coop for the acacia. Now I'm gonna connect most of the islands using custom bridges, like this very sturdy looking bridge, or even this hanging one. And I completed it with some paths and rocks from my plains overhaul video, also check that out, and also grass. And the last thing to build is the chicken monument itself. I started with the base, and then I colored it with a gradient of tuff, cobblestone, stone, and andesite. And for the chicken, I used some reference photos to make it as accurate as possible, but keeping it Minecrafty. Then I painted it with the same gradients, tuff for the shadows, and then transitioned it into stone using cobblestone and andesite for the highlights. And also the tail, I used black stone. Then I added some more details using stairs and slabs, and also moss to make it look weathered and ancient. Now I'm gonna fill up the rest of the space using trees and paths. And that's how I made this chicken monument to celebrate our 1,000 followers on TikTok. Here's how it looks at night with lantern. This build is available for free in my Patreon, the schematic and the world. Hope you guys like it, and see you in the next video. Subscribe for more. Peace.